So now that your edges are done, everything's checked, everything's sharp, and what I like to do if you're working on one pair of skis or more than one pair of skis, do all the edging work first. And so you have any of the filings or edging tools on the bench in front of you, and you're not having filings get in wax or wax drip onto diamond stones and files. That just creates a big mess. Might seem like it's quicker to do everything to one ski to start with, but in the long run it is not. So what I'll do after edging is remove my ski, set it up somewhere stable. Usually have a brush to do this, but I don't right now. And clean up all the filings. So you're working with a clean surface here. And I will put the ski back in the base bevel position with the base up, adjusting the end supports accordingly so they're fairly equal and the ski's fairly level. It's not necessary, but it usually feels better if the ski is pretty close to level. So yeah, I'll wipe any filings or anything off, and then I'll grab a sharp, clean scraper and just scrape down the base slightly to get any residue from the previous day or anything left on the ski from the edging process off the base. And then I'll take a brush to clean the base out a little bit. My preferred do-it-all brush is our Beast soft bronze horsehair brush. This is my favorite. It's a brush I use on every single pair of skis. It's aggressive enough to clean out the structure of the base, but not harm it. And then you can turn around and use this brush after waxing. So when I brush, I'll use about the same strokes I did with base bevel filing or doing the side edge. And then just clean it out. Your hand can be a good fallback and wipe all the debris off on your Carhartts or preferably an apron. And then the ski is ready to wax, or almost ready to wax. Something I like to do, it's not necessary, but it really helps clean up in the long run, is take some either Toco sidewall tape or 2-inch masking tape, tear off a strip that just covers the plate and the binding, and apply this to the sidewall of the ski. And what I'm doing here is I'm deflecting any of the wax that I put onto the base from getting into the binding or the plate or onto the centerpiece of your vise. A lot of ski preparation is about keeping your working environment clean so you're not contaminating a part of your process with something you don't want to. So then when I get into waxing, I will either elevate the end supports like I'm doing right here, or if I'm waxing a bunch of skis in a row, if I've got 3 to 10 pair to do, I'll actually remove the centerpiece of the vise. I prefer to put it upside down on the bench like that so it's completely out of the way. And then I am ready to just wax the ski. And to backtrack a little bit, the reason you wax a ski is because a ski base is similar to a sponge, a very high-tech sponge, but it is porous. So you use an iron for heat and a wax for a lubricant and protectant to actually go into the ski base, penetrate in. When it comes to racing applications, the more times you wax a ski, the faster it's going to get within reason, and there is no scientific number with that. I just know from experience that the more you wax a ski, the better the ski is going to perform for the life of it. A very good thing to do when you have racing skis, wax your skis every day. And it doesn't have to be with an amazing special wax or anything. You can use an everyday all-temp wax or a Toco Rad, a Swick CH7. but to have wax on your skis so the base doesn't dry out. Because if the base is drying out and it starts getting gray, that's essentially like rust on a car bumper. It's oxidizing and it doesn't want to accept wax as well. So when you wax, you get the iron at a temp that's somewhere between melt and smoke. Sometimes you have to turn your iron up a little bit. And I do kind of a bunch of slalom turns down the base of the ski. And then I'll come back to the tip, get the liquefying process started. And there is no magic number for how fast you should go down. I'm always looking at the wax to make sure it's melting and going across the ski all the way. If you have wax dripping everywhere on your feet and the bench, then you've put too much wax on, which isn't a bad thing, but it's not necessary. And if you have dry spots, you need to apply a little bit more wax. And I have my own habits, everyone does, with waxing a ski. I prefer to go tip to tail, then tail to tip, and then figure out where I might need to apply just a little bit more wax. A little thin there, a little thin back there. Then I'll go back and get it started again. Now the wax should be blending very smooth across the base. Go down, make sure there's no dry spots. And that is good. You can do another pass if you'd like. If you're using a very hard wax, you probably should do another pass or two. A soft wax, not quite as much. And the step I like to do right after that is take the short edge of a scraper, or in our B scrapers we have a 90-degree corner cut out, and what that's for is to clean the wax off the base edge. And that's a step you don't have to do right after waxing. It's just a step that I have preferred to do after waxing, directly after. Clean off the edges. I will remove my tape, put it right there for waxing the next ski. And when I wax a ski, I usually like to let it cool for 20 or 30 minutes until the ski, the base, is definitely back down to room temperature. In elite racing applications, there are people that have said you can leave a ski overnight and it's going to perform better, it's going to be faster. I don't really believe in that, because after the entire ski is to room temp, which is probably about an hour, I don't see room temp wax penetrating farther into the base. So for the average application, 20-30 minutes, or if you're waxing 4 pair of skis, by the time you get done with the end of the 4th pair, you can come back and just start scraping and brushing.